guys, this is Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner, and I am here to do part 1 of my WIP Parade. So this is probably going to be my longest part as I have pulled out the most projects right now. I'm kind of going to try to keep track of the time, and when it reaches an hour, maybe an hour and a half, I'll see how far I am along for this part to see whether I can stop here or finish this big part of my WIP Parade. It's all of the WIPs that I have in alphabetical order that I keep in this storage thing behind me. I have the bigger, more special type of projects in project bags in another section, and then I have a few projects scattered throughout the house that I have to gather up. So if I can finish all 4 of these big containers in this one take, that will significantly cut down the number of videos I have to do to by at least one, because I also still have the full coverages to show you that that's also in 2 separate of these big containers. So we're gonna see how much I can get done, and there will be no editing on this video. So I hope you've grabbed a drink and that you've got a list ready in case you want to make a to-do list. And oh, I've also got an empty container, so I'm going to be putting things away as I go along. So basically I'm just going to be rotating tubs so that I've got an empty one to start putting things back into, and I'm hoping that that will work. So starting off, this is a project that was designed by, for free by Karen the Needlebug, and I had started 2 of them. This was to teach you how to do hardanger. So I have one that's in a variegated thread. The coloring is not great, I apologize for that. And then one that is in white. So that's 2 of those. I've not worked on this in well over a year. And I don't even think she completed the series. So I have everything in here in a bag. Next we have the tiny Christmas knit along and the tiny Valentine's knit along from Armada Designs. So this is the tiny Christmas one, and I am almost halfway done. I worked on this one already this year. And the tiny Valentine's one is right here, and I am not even close to half done. Next we have up from my fanatical days of watching Bayern Munich and soccer, the logo for the team. This is what it looks like, FC Bayern München. And this is all I got done, not anything basically. So I don't know, I should probably UFO it, but I'm just keeping it just in case. This is Tree of Stitches from Bee's Needlework, Abbey Garden. And this was before I really learned how to properly center things. So there's so much wasted fabric on this piece. Jeez Louise. I didn't particularly love this shade of variegated floss, but I think now that I'm showing you guys the back. I think now that I'm older, I kind of like it a little bit more. I really enjoyed I've done one of this tree already, And I really love doing all these variegated stitches, so I might finish this one up at some point. It's, I believe, DMC 4050, and this is what it looks like. I think the other one I made, I gave to my aunt, and I believe it was in blacks and purples and grays, but I could definitely be wrong about remembering that. And I don't even think I have a picture of it. Next up, we have some freebies from Elizabeth Almond. A couple on here are completed, but I was just trying to fit as many onto this scrap fabric as I could. So this one is kind of a rainbow thing. So it starts here and progressively gets bigger with each new ring. This one is finished. That one is finished. This one I still need to finish. So it's more motifs like this, and then I believe some beads. And then this one is finished as well. So, and I still have room to add a few more if I want to. I have quite a few of her freebies, so I might look to do that this year. Next up, we have Mother and Child from Busilla. This one reminds me of my sister Kirsten. I have not done a ton. This is where I am at. So definitely need to put in some more work on Mother and Child. My friend Martha said she's going to watch this and tell me what I have to finish this year. So Martha, I'm looking forward to your comments down below. This one is one I started for my husband before we got married, and I never even got close to finishing. I'd actually just forgotten about it till now. Loved you yesterday, love you still, always have, always will. I gridded the fabric and everything, and that is all I got done. Huh. I wish I hadn't forgotten about this. I definitely cannot finish that by Valentine's Day, but maybe by our anniversary, if I choose to focus on it. Sorry if I'm going fast, but with 200, almost 200 WIPs, speed is the name of the game. So this I don't have a cover picture for, but it's Snow White from Brooks Dress Up collection. I really need to focus on these princesses. As well, I don't even know what angle to show you guys at this. That's all I've done. And I know it's Snow White because I do have the bead pack in here, the accessory pack. Sorry, I have to put this away as I go, or I'll never be able to find everything's place again. Ah, shoot. Okay, this one is Aurora from Brooks Books. And I chose this blue fabric. It's from Fiberlicious. It's called Cloud Gazing. And think this is how it goes. It's a much more brighter blue in person than what's showing on the screen. It's kind of muted looking on the screen, but it's pretty bright in person. Next we have, I believe, Cinderella from Brooks Books Dress Up Collection, and I have more done on this one than the other two. Pretty sure it's this way. So not a ton, but a bit of her dress. Sorry I don't really have cover pictures for these to show you guys. Next we have the Advent Animals. This is the one I do have done, Katie Kitty. The insane part of me is debating restarting this whole series and going 1/1 to make really tiny ornaments for my tree. But that would be insane, right? How big is this? Hang on, let me check. It's 3 inches by almost 4. So it's almost 3 by 4 inches. So cutting it half would be 1.5 by 2 inches. So anyways, so I have that one finished, and I have this little bit started on the next guy. Here is what he looks like. He's so cute. So I have cut out all the fabric for them. I just need to get going. My final Brooks books that I have to show you is the Alice in Wonderland series. I did rearrange the order I'm planning on stitching them to this. But I am so far away. Well, actually, I'm not actually that far away, as I have completed the checker border. I did complete that this year, so yay me. But there's still a ton of grass to go all the way across. So that is the next thing that needs doing on this project. And then I will be able to start each individual character on the top row. Then we have One Nation by Bygone Stitches. This is the flag that's made up of the states in the order that they joined the Union. I am stitching this with DMC, but on this beautiful mottled fabric. I love this fabric so much. I'm going to order more of it eventually. But, yep, I've completed 1 stripe and 1 star, and then the blue section. Okay, then I have Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. This is my only Hawk Run Hollow pattern so far. Eventually I'd like to get more. I am stitching this in the called for NPS, the NP Silks. However, I only have black right now. Oops, see my black. So I've been working on border. And that's all I've gotten done. This is a very hard stitch count for me to do, as my eyesight is just not great. But it is what it is, and when I work on it for a period of time, it becomes easier to see. Wow, my hair is something else. Wow. I actually brushed it before starting this. Jeez Louise. Okay, sorry. Easily distracted. Anyways, yeah, I really love this one. Next we have the start of my Carolyn Mannings that I have in progress. First up is Secret Summer Garden Labyrinth. And I don't even have to unfold it past this. This is all I have done so far, but I do love those bright colors. So beautiful. Next we have, I believe this might have been the first one I ever started of hers. And this is the Yuletide Labyrinth garden. And I did not center this well on my fabric, as I am just about now ready to be able to go down. So there's plenty on that side, not as much on that side. Maybe I was thinking I could cross this off and use that bit for ornaments. I honestly don't know. I don't know what I think half the time. Oh, I guess I can open this one more fold as I've gone a little bit further down on the border. But anyways, I love this one so much. And I'm pretty sure it was my first Carolyn Manning. And I'm not sure about the color, but I know this is Picture This Plus. I stole it from another project. I know that too, because I was so desperate to start it when I saw it for the first time. Okay, this one is what one do you call yourself? Let me look at the pattern. Granny is no square. And so I guess I decided to work on border for this one. So I actually think it's this way. That is what I have done. I'm thinking I need to go through all these bags and add a little square of, they're starting to get a little musty smell. So I need to add like a square of a dryer sheet, like cut dryer sheets into little squares and add one to each bag. Then we have the Scrappy Quilt Sal, also from Carolyn Manning. I went through a major Carolyn Manning phase, and I kind of miss it, but stupid Facebook doesn't even show me the group anymore, which is real annoying. Because then you forget about things. So you can hardly tell, but there's some like white there. Yeah. I also know I was planning something super insane with this because I have centers marked in 4 points. So I think I was combining four variations of this pattern or something. I honestly have no clue. I need to go back and figure it out. And the last Carolyn Manning I have to show you is the Winter Wonderland garden. This is the same blue fabric that my Advent animals are being stitched on. I did get it something on here, and so there's like a little bit of a bleach mark or something. I don't know. But I think it looks fine. And this is all I've done because something spilled on here. And I got upset about it. And so I kind of stopped working on it. But now it really doesn't seem like a big deal. Oh, my younger days. Just kidding. Just kidding. But yeah, I really love how that looks so far. So I definitely need to work on these seasonal gardens. Maybe in the new year. Except for I'm going to do a rotation, so probably not. Next we have Walking in Venice from Clouds Factory. I started this for my sister Kirsten. Venice was one of the places she went on her honeymoon. And that's all I've gotten accomplished. So not much. Definitely need to work on this one more. I also have Walking in Paris. And this is going to be for my sister Jo. I haven't even started this one. However, I cut the other half of that piece of fabric for it. So I just put it in here. But my sister Jo got engaged in Paris. And so while my sister Kirsten has the Paris Garden mandala from Chatelaine, because she went to Paris as her like senior trip. And she loves Paris. So the Paris Garden mandala I started for her before my sister Jo got engaged in Paris. So now Jo's getting Walking in Paris in the London gardens because she loves London. And she went to England and Scotland as her senior trip for my parents. It's just like a short trip with my parents because we were living in Africa and like my dad was taking classes in England, so he took my sister with him. And so then they went and saw something. So it wasn't like something hugely extravagant or super, I don't know. Just to clarify that. But that's why my sister's getting the London Garden mandalas and my other sister is getting the Paris Garden mandalas, even though the other one did get engaged in Paris. Then we have from years ago to 2015, the Postcards of the World Sal, which I actually only found out about it in its final month as a Sal. But I bought it, and I have the specialty threads for it too. But all I have is part of one border started. So I would really love to make some progress on this now that it's like not a huge Sal or anything. But yeah. Next up we have It's a Sweet World Mary from Clouds Factory. And this is part of a series. It's a Sweet World. I don't have a preview of all three of them. This is what Mary, or all four actually. This is what Mary looks like. So there's 4 Christmas ones and there's 4 Halloween ones. And I have all the fabric for the Christmas and the Halloween. The Halloween is on this darker Nocturne Cashel. And the Christmas ones are on this Storm. But I only have one started, and that is Mary. And I worked on it a little bit during Vlogmas, and that's where I'm at. So definitely need to work more on this series as I love the concept of it. Next we have Giant Harry Potter. This is one that I restarted this year. So I originally started it on 22 count Hardanger in white, and this fabric has gotten some stains on it, and like right there, various places. It was a bit hard to do on the white. I still got, you know, decently well along, so I have to do all those banners again, but it was just the pits on this fabric and I dreaded working on it. So I finally decided to bite the bullet and get some of my favorite fabric, which is Vintage Country Mocha. And so I have this tiny restart. And I'm not sure if this is on my WIP Go board for this year. I should have put it there if I didn't. In the final Clouds Factory, and the last thing in the first bucket. Oh geez. You're going to want to tell me I didn't fold you properly. Sorry. It's being dramatic. Anyway, so the final one in this basket is the Epic Disney Princesses. And this is all I have done on it. So I would love to make some more progress. I love it on this dark navy fabric. And I really just need to work some more on it. So I believe this is on my WIP Go. So here's to hoping it gets called sooner than later. Anyways, okay, so that finishes bucket 1 in less than 30 minutes. I'm trying to stick to alphabetical order over here. Move you over. Pretty sure you're next. Oh man. Okay. So, first up, we have the cottages of the month. I will go through them. So we have May. That's what it will look like. And here is where it is at. Then we have June. This is a project I would really love to finish this year. July. In part because I want to get those samplers of the month. I'm so tempted to just order January's anyways and try to do them. But I haven't done that yet, so. August. Oops, glare. August. And that's where I am at. September. Nope, I finished October. November. And December. And you can't really tell that there's anything there, but there is. So that is Country Cottage Needleworks Cottage of the Month series. Next we have Reindeer Games from Country Cottage Needleworks. And all I've done is some of the top border. Then we have Seasonal Celebrations Spring. I am only stitching the top part, not the words. Oops, don't lose that. And here is where I am at on that. This is a pale blue fabric. It's really pretty. It's Ice Blue Lugana. And then we have Summer. Oh my gosh, this is where some of my DMCs went. I have been looking for some of my DMCs, had no clue where they disappeared to. Apparently into this project bag. Jeez Louise. Well, if nothing else out of this WIP Parade, I got that. I didn't even start. I didn't even start this one. Jeez Louise. There we go. So that hardly should count as a seasonal. I think that the fall one, autumn, is downstairs, so I'll have to show you guys that one in one of my next WIP parades. Then we have Afternoon in London from Country Cottage Needleworks. I love this one. I want the whole series. I only have this one so far, but eventually I'm going to get the whole series. I just have the littlest bit started. Next, we have Santa's Village from Country Cottage Needleworks. And I actually got this as this was coming out back when I lived in Fresno, so 6 or 7 years ago. And this is all I have done. In part because, some of that bottom border too. I do not like lamb's wool linen. And back at the time I started this, I didn't know about things like changing out what the fabric called for and things like that. I also come up and down in different holes now than when I started this, so it's really hard for me to get in the rhythm of stitching this. I think when I come down to do the next row of houses, I'm just going to skip one extra square so it gets me back to how I normally stitch. But I have to finish the first row and just kind of push that out. I love this piece so much. So much so, in fact, that I insanely decided to buy one of those square blankets and make a blanket version out of this. Now, there are more squares, like I recharted it on the, like the order I'm going to do, than there are Santa Village. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think my plan was then to get the Frosty's Village series from Country Cottage Needleworks and put those extra ones in the in-betweens. So I only have one started. I had to change a few colors. I changed the color of Snow and I changed the color of the Smoke to a gray so that they would stand out on the blanket. But, so this is all I have done. And I really need to get working on this because I'm still rather happy with my idea about doing this. I think I decided to use 6 strands So it's really bulky and thick and not necessarily pleasant to work with, but from a distance, not up close, it looks really good on the fabric. Because getting 6 strands to lay flat is not easy. And then I have bought like basically all of the DMC I need for this, so I really need to get working on it. Next we have my Country Magic stitch. These are like posters, mainly for Lord of the Rings. So this is Visit Mordor. And I kitted these up on the fabric, and then I made like a card with a symbol and took one length for each of them. So these are full coverage, but they're not massive. This is as big as they are. And that's what I've done on Visit Mordor. I need to work more on this. Look at this Eye of Sauron needle minder. Oh my gosh, I love it. In case you're new here and you don't know, I run a Lord of the Rings, we call it Stitchy Quest, group on Facebook where we are going through the Lord of the Rings books and making quests and challenges, stitching challenges for the various events in the books. So the group information is down below if you want to join in on the fun. You don't have to love Lord of the Rings like we do to join in on the fun. Okay, so this one is Welcome to Rohan. Some are Visit and others are Welcome to. So Welcome to Rohan. And what did I do? Very little. I think I did this for Stitch Mania start. Next we have Welcome to Winterfell. So this one is Game of Thrones. And this one is also very little done. Just some of that blue in the sky. Recently on the WIP Parade group, there was some controversy about the designer of these charts, that the reviews for them are fake because the person didn't seem to think that like they're legitimate reviews or that they're charted properly. Like they contacted the designer and everything about it, and it seemed kind of rude, honestly. But the reviews are legitimate, trust me. I know a lot of people who are stitching these or have stitched these. I'm stitching several, and they work up like they're charted just because they don't start in a 10 by 10 block. This is one of the charts where they figured out the 0 on the middle line both ways, and they counted out from 10s by there. And so I think it comes out to 4 on each side of the end. So instead of starting at a 10, you're starting at a 4, which honestly, if you've stitched a dimensions chart, they kind of do that too. Some of my dimensions charts does not start with a 10 by 10 block. So check your charts before you start charting your fabric is all I've really got to say. And I don't mean to be rude, but you're like trying to destroy someone's business and it's actually your mistake. And that's not cool. So Visit the Shire. I just found a highlighter in there. I'm taking that out. What if it bleeds? And this is probably the one I've got the most done on. Look at all of that sky. Just kind of got on a groove with this one. Love it. The great thing about these is each one's only 4 pages, and there are large chunks of block stitching, so it makes for some fast stitching. This one is Welcome to Erebor. I don't know why, but apparently I put whole skeins in here. And I think these should probably be put back in stash for if I need the color on another project. Let me just check really quick if I've actually added a length into here for each of those. I have. So I'm going to add these to the things I need to put back in stash. And apparently, for some reason, not known to me at this moment, I decided to start this one without gridding. So, there it is. It might have been a day I needed a new start and just wasn't in the mood to grid. I did sign up and buy all of the Disney stained glass stitches from Amanda Dion Creatively Crafting. And I've only got one started, Tinkerbell. And I was working on black first. So this is what I have gotten done. So not a ton, but it's a start. Okay, next we have some dimensions. So this is my favorite quote, the prayer of serenity. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference. And I love how peaceful and serene that looks. The stitching of it will not be quite so peaceful and serene. It is very confetti heavy, like all dimensions really are. And apparently, okay, it doesn't want to come out, but I just got it. This is what I have done so far. So, a little bit of a tree. And it looks like my grid lines are coming out. Then we have one of my oldest WIPs, which is Woodland Enchantress. So pretty, but I have done so much damage to this. Masking tape on the edges. The fabric got stained. It's just a big old mess. But you know what? It is what it is. This is what it looks like right now. So I am trying to complete all of these dangling threads and then try to work down on the columns. I decided that this was too difficult to do with parking because they switched so much from half stitches and full stitches that I couldn't know every time whether the thread I was picking up from parking was meant to be a half stitch or a full stitch. So, yeah. This is actually one of my oldest WIPs, but this is a restart because my pattern got destroyed on the other one. Anyways, I love this one so much. I think those old antebellum houses are beautiful. Those dresses, I love those dresses. Anyways, I managed to get this. It is out of print. I managed to get this off of eBay a few years ago. But I've been so worried about messing up my chart with the folding and the unfolding that I've barely worked on it. So now that I've got a table to stitch from, it's a lot easier to lay out a chart in front of me. So I'm hoping to set aside chunks of time, not just when I have short periods of time, but chunks where I can work on this and then put it all away. And I decided to start working with, because I normally start at the top, but I wanted to work in all of the places where the folds are in the pattern, because my problem is that actually from folding and unfolding so many times it wore through and I couldn't see symbols anymore. So I am hoping that by working all of the fold areas first, that I will then be able to safely and easily work on the rest of it. So yeah, this is one of my favorites. Next we have one I started for my aunt a while ago, and that's a whole lot of Latte. And this is what I have done on it. I love its bright, vibrant colors. It just changes thread a lot. Anyways, I do really like this one. Then we have Beach Babies. I think that they're so cute. Dina from Half Stitch, Cross Stitch, or Mary Rose, I don't remember which, said something about like, why would you stitch on this if you didn't like the beach? Because they were figuring anyone who would stitch on it would love the beach. I hate the beach, but I think these three little girls are just cute as cute can be, with their little chubby butts, and they're just so cute, and like they're going to go make a sand castle, and I just love it so much. But I hate the beach. That sand everywhere, the water, the feel of the salt water. Ugh, do not like it. And this is what I've gotten done. Not a ton, but you know, any progress is progress. Next we have Milady's Chateau. I got this off of eBay after watching way too much cross stitch with Luda. Several of these are influenced from her because I was watching her channel a lot. I had to take a break from watching it because I was just wanting to get too many patterns off of eBay from Dimensions. So this is all I have done on that. There, let's make it a little bit darker. So some of the sky. This was a what is it called? Stitch Mania start that I have not worked on since Stitch Mania. Next, we have another one that I started because of cross stitch with Luda, and that's a Summer Stroll from Dimensions. And I love her so much. She's so elegant and beautiful. I would have loved to wear a dress like that. Sometimes I do think I was born in the wrong era. And here's what I got to. I think this was a Stitch Mania start I just couldn't stop working on. But yeah, haven't worked on it since, but I loved it while doing it. Now I have 2 Dorian Jones from the Lakeside Needlecraft Sal's. And the first one is the Under the Sea one. And this is literally all I've gotten done is some outline of an octopus. It's really sad. And the Fantasy Sal is even in a worse shape than that, I think. Or maybe not. Are you? I don't know. Yeah, kind of. So this is on a sparkly fabric, which I thought would be so magical for fantasy. And that's all I've done. Some of the border. Oh well. I will get to it eventually, right? And that completes our second bucket. So, yay for progress. Hang on just a second. I'm going to try to put this one away. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to make it not be a nightmare when this is done to clean up. Okay, bucket number 3. And we're starting with some frosted pumpkin. So this is Merry and Bright. I know I've mentioned this a billion times, but Frosted Pumpkin actually lives in the city where I grew up in till middle school. Very small town, about 5,000 people in Northern California, called Gridley. That's where I'm at. And I have worked on this since Vlogmas. Then we have the Halloween one, the Halloween version. And this is what I have done on that. So almost the first half done, rather the second half. I think these would go pretty quickly if I just like focused and worked on them. But I'm always being pulled in like a billion different directions. Oh, this one. I don't have a cover picture to show, but it's the one with the 4 different scary creatures, but they aren't scary. I forgot what it's called. Squad ghouls, maybe? Anyways, I have some outline on the first one done. Next up, we have Once Upon a Time. That's what that looks like. And this is what I have done on that. Oops, 2 needle minders stuck together. Once Upon a Time. So, definitely need to do a lot more on this, but I'm really just kind of hoping to have it done for if I ever have a kid. So since I'm not even pregnant, there's no like massively huge rush on it. Then we have Welcome to Pumpkinville. And this is what I did on this. So some outline and border, a little bit of the first part. I don't think I've worked on this in like a year, so. Next we have Let's Go on an Adventure from Frosted Pumpkin. And here is what I have done. I also bought this kit and gave it to my sister Kirsten in Germany, and we were kind of working on it together, but I don't think she's worked on hers in quite a while. Next we have National Parks, the first one. And I haven't done a ton on this. I did grit it apparently in sulky threads. And that is what I have done. Another kind of wasteful use of fabric. I could have started it up higher and used the bottom part as some ornaments, but I have a lot of fabric, so I don't know why I keep telling myself that. Now we have Storytime Sampler. And I decided to do this on a super bright fabric. Don't know why. I just did. It's actually not quite as similar to my dress as I thought it was. And that was the final Frosted Pumpkin. I have one over there though. Next we have Hogwarts in a Bottle. I don't have a mock-up of this, but here is the start of the bottle. This is The Whisper of Thread. No, The Whisper of God. And it's by Imaginating. A missionary gave me this one. And I think I was desperate for a start at one point. It's not really super my style. But anyways. Here is where I'm at. This was apparently started in my masking tape days. Thank goodness I learned better since then about masking tape, but I guess that's packing tape actually. This is the Map Sal. Excuse me, let me take a drink. I don't know why I decided to basically go as big as my fabric would let me. This is a coffee tea dyed piece of fabric that I thought, I mean there's some splotches on it. Thought that was kind of good for a map. And so naturally the border is taking forever. So I need to make some work on this. I I heard that maybe she's gonna do a space Sal in the similar vein of this, and I think that would be so cool. Now we have Janelyn. I think I had started this for someone as a wedding sampler. Where's the cover art? It's apparently missing. I don't even know. Someone I don't really talk to anymore. Not because, like, we got mad or anything. It's just, you know, we fell out of touch. So that's all I did. And maybe I'll work on it again sometime when someone else I know is getting married. But for now, it's just in here. I guess it's a temporary UFO. Now this is intended to be for my father. And that's his hands from Janelyn. And I was working on this for a while listening to the Bible. But then I started like knitting while listening to the Bible. And just kind of got off track. But here's where I'm at. Yeah, there we go. So getting into the cuff of his sleeve and his hand. This is from Jiffy. This is one of my first cross stitches, which I lost on a school field trip in the 9th grade. And I found it one day on eBay, and I bought it. I haven't done a ton because there is a ton of black on this, and it just gets kind of boring. But I bought it for nostalgic reasons. So that's what I've done. I used to be super obsessed with anything and everything about the Titanic. Next we have what was meant to be for my sister Jo for her wedding. Kind of sampler, I guess. And that is, I did another one for her sampler, but this is meant to be the big one for it. That's what it looks like. And she hasn't really asked about it, so I don't know if she's forgotten about it, but I should probably work on this some more. And this is what it looks like. So it is very beautiful. It's a Joan Elliott. This is actually my only Joan Elliott. She has some that I really like and would love to get more of, but this is the only one I have at the moment. So, yeah. Next we have one that someone charted for me that is actually a picture from my sister Kirsten's wedding day. And I need to get someone to chart for me a picture from my sister Jo's wedding day and then another one from mine. But this is someone who just kind of offered, and then I bought them a hay chart as a thanks. And that's all I've done on it. It's full coverage. Yeah. I don't have a mock-up of the picture, but it is a really pretty one. Now we have some lavender and laces. room in there. Oops, I was shaping that. Sorry, you guys. Okay, this is one that I didn't start, and I haven't actually done any stitching on. I think that this came from Elizabeth Vintage Stitches, and I miss her channel so much. She was so sweet. But she started a bunch, or it could have come from someone off of a D-stash. I don't know. So there's that one. I have not done any stitching on this, but this person did the very smallest of starts. So I need to work on it. Figure out what's going on in here and yeah, do some work because I think this is really cute. Next is another one, Angel of Grace, that I didn't start. And so these are not actually in my spreadsheet, so this is why I think my count is closer to 200 than 185, which is what my spreadsheet says it is right now. So this is Angel of Grace. And this is what the person I got it from has done. And I mean, isn't that so beautiful? I really need to work on this because I think that's just lovely. Then we have one I did start, and that's Queen Anne's Lace. I started this for Stitch Mania. That's what it looks like. And this is what I got done. So barely anything. The Quilt Maker, which is one I have loved for a long time, from Lavender and Lace. And I decided to start up by the woman's hair so I could work down. Next we have Celtic Summer. And I think this is my Celtic lady I am the furthest on, as I have done a good amount of the border. Next we have Nantucket Rose. And this is what I got started on it. this is another one I received that I did not start myself. Why do I have... Oh, I have the chart twice. Excuse me. This is Angel of Spring from Lavender and Lace. And this is another beautiful start to a head. Wait, no, it goes like this. Angel of Spring. And she is beautiful. This is part of why I have to start the new rotation system this year, because I have forgotten about a good deal of these because they get started and then they kind of get forgotten. Not because I want to forget about them, but there's just so many other things. Not sure where's the pattern for this. Oh, here it is. Inside. So this is the second Angel of Freedom, also started by someone else. And also with the head and a little trail of the dress. Very pretty. Then we have Fairy Godmother. And I guess I decided to start her on this pretty wild for me fabric. Celtic Spring. This is one I've had a hate-hate relationship with because I don't like the fabric. But it's because it's so translucent, basically. But I do think it's really pretty. I think she's the prettiest of the Celtic ladies. And this is Celtic Autumn, which I am doing a color conversion for, but that's how she was originally charted. And this is the one I probably have the most done on the dress. And that's what she looks like. I think this one was my first lavender and lace. This Celtic Autumn color conversion. I think it's also when I started to realize you could do things like color conversions and change fabric and things like that. Next we have Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow from Ursula Michael. But it's a kit from someone. I think I put it in here because of the letter L. So I worked on it during Vlogmas. They were very skimpy with the fabric margins. Sorry, this is my most filled up bucket. Okay, so now we have the 2018 Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler, which if you want to download 2018 and 2019, you need to before they take it off at by the New Year's. So I need to make sure I have all the parts. I'm just doing this in black on this orange fabric that I got at a stitching meetup. This is the 2019 Linen and Threads sampler. I am using, really? Apparently, I am using Hyacinth from Water Lilies. I don't know. And where's my 2017 one? Oh, that must be over in that section. So this must be the peacock one? Yeah, it must be. I haven't downloaded at all. I need to make sure I have all the parts downloaded for this one. Jeez, I don't even remember starting this. That's how bad this one is. I need to make sure I have all the parts downloaded for this one, and I know I don't have anything downloaded from this year because I didn't even start it. So, but I've seen it, and it is really, I like it. I wasn't sure I would at the beginning of the year, so. Okay, this is technically not a WIP, but it's with my WIPs. And that is the Hometown Holidays from Little House Needleworks. I finished these two that I need to do my framing situation on, where I kind of turn them into magnets for Christmas time. And I didn't put them up this year. The other two. Anyways, so I finished those two. And so I have the next 4 picked out with a piece of fabric, and I bought the fancy flosses that I need for them, or I pulled from stash the ones that I could. And so, oh, I do have a list of about 4 colors I need to purchase. Okay, you're the one I finished. So I would like to work on this year on my piece of fabric. Quilt Shop. And this one I need 4 colors for still. The Pet Store. Bookstore. And I need 1 color for this. And Needle Workshop. So I have them all stored together because it's kind of part of the same project, so okay. Then we have Lantern Lane from Little House Needleworks. And I love this one so much. That's what it looks like. And I really do love this. Then we have Christmas by the Letter from Lizzie Kate. That's what it will look like when finished. And here's where I am at now. And I love this one. This one is on my WIP Go board. Oops, there goes the needle minder. Then we have Christmas Rules, which is actually what I thought I had put on my WIP Go board, but it wasn't. And this is what this will look like when finished. Another pen highlighter. And here is what I have done. So the top and two sections. I don't remember if I worked on this already for Vlogmas. And then we have two Long Dog samplers. The first is Pandemic. And I am stitching this with some Silks for You from my friend Martha. I'm stitching with one thread over one on 22 count Hardanger. And I love how it looks. This is on my WIP Go board. Is it on my WIP Go board? If it's not on my WIP Go board, it's on my daily 30 zombie run. So I'm going to be working on this every month this year. Then we have Long Dog samplers, Castles in the Air, and I'm stitching this using white thread on a colorful background. This beautiful, beautiful shade right here. I love this piece so much. However, the chart is a bit hard to read, especially for the back stitching, and that's why I don't work on it as much as I would like to, because it's just kind of a nightmare to actually see where the back stitching goes. And the final WIP in this third tub is one that my parents got me as a souvenir from England when they went one time, and that's Lime Park, which is Pemberley in Pride and Prejudice. And I have only the meagerest of starts on this. That's all. So I would love to work on this. This is one of those hand-drawn charts that are just kind of difficult because they're hand-drawn. So that is the third bucket. And that leaves us with just this fourth one. And we're at an hour 25, but I think we're going to just push through. Okay. First up, we have Always. And this is a Russian designer, so I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's off of Etsy. And this is what I have gotten done. Then we have this Mill Hill Miranda from the Hocus Pocus trilogy that I decided to stitch on Black Ada for my aunt, which is a pain in the butt, but it looks so good on the black. And I just think it's more practical for my aunt. I'm going to make it into little, like, the little pillow decoration things. I'm going to do all three of them for her. But an ornament just wouldn't really work for her. For one thing, she's got cats. And so I think that could be dangerous. Like, they will destroy it and my hard work. I think we have a couple Mill Hills in here, so be patient. We have the Nutcracker that I finished for my sister Jo. So next time I see her, I will give it to her. Then we have this little owlet for me. This one's Tango. And just gonna leave it in there. That's all I've done. Then we have Balthazar, which I have worked on for Vlogmas. And that's for my mom and dad. And this is what he looks like right now. And those were the ones I had in here. Now we are on to Mirabilias. So first up we have Persephone. And I love this one so much. It's what she looks like. And here is where I am at. When I was working on this is all from the first time I worked on it, and I was really on a roll for a little while. I went monogamous only almost a month for her. And I do really love how that looks. And I don't think I have worked on her since the spring. So I really need to get back to her. Now we have Winter Queen from Mirabilia. That is what she looks like. Sorry I'm showing you that from the bag, but it just makes it faster to put it back. And here is what she looks like so far. And I believe this was another Mania start. Now we have Autumn Queen. This is actually, from the stock image, my least favorite looking, but I've been assured she looks prettier in person. So I'm hoping that is the case. I've started on her hair. I bought her because you couldn't have all the other seasons and just ignore the autumn one. That would just be wrong. Let me see. Okay, I'll get the other two queens out before. This is, are you Summer Queen. And that's all I've gotten done on her. I love this fabric though. I'm told I'll lose the flowers on this fabric, but I don't even care. Because I think that the blues will look so pretty on this. At least that's what I'm hoping. Then we have the Spring Queen. And I am stitching her on this pretty purple fabric. I think it's just a springy purple. And that's what it looks like so far. So basically nothing. So we just crossed over the hour-and-a-half mark. So I mean, it's going a little bit longer than I would have liked, but still getting it pretty good. Next we have Garden Interlude from Mirabilia. I love this one so much. It's so beautiful. This was an instant buy for me. Like, Leslie from Under the Sea Stitches posted it, and I ordered the full kit. And this is the fabric I chose for it, which I think is just so pretty. It's way more subtle and pretty in person than the screen is showing. So I worked on her hair, and this was another Mania start that I just didn't want to put down. I wanted to pick this for WIP Go, but I decided I needed to pick more of my older projects. Otherwise, I totally was going to pick this one. This is the first of the Royal Queen games. I am stitching this on one piece of fabric. I still need to get the second one. And I think I'm planning on giving these to my husband. What fabric did I stitch this on? Did I stitch it on 22 count Lagana? I mean, 22 count Hardanger? Apparently 28 count even weave Lagana, but it feels stiff, which is why I was wondering. Yeah, so this is the way it goes. And this is gonna, once I put some focus on this, this will stitch up fast. And I would love to make this as a present for him sometime. Now we have a North Corbett. And this is Victorian House. I would love to get the others in this series, as I think they're just so pretty. That's what this one looks like. I have the bead pack and the other fancies. This is another one I would have loved to have put down for, I'm reclaiming a piece of fabric. I was actually wondering where this piece of fabric went. Well, that explains a lot. And that's what I have done. This fabric was sent to me for the Main Street Sal, and I bought the kit. It wasn't just like gifted to me. And the fabric was too small. Like, she cut it and measured it completely wrong. And so she said and because I'd already started it, she said I could keep it, and she sent me the proper fabric. So, but by that point, I'd kind of gotten, like, discouraged about the whole thing. I was behind on the Sal because of the fabric, and it was just a mess. Okay, now we have 4 of the South African Big 5. I still need to get the last one, but they didn't have it when we were on safari. So this one is the Rhino. And like, I don't love how these look, but I like that they're the Big 5, and they remind me of the family trip we took. So that's why I am still working on them. Anyways, I don't even know if that's in the right orientation. I think it might actually be this way. But maybe not. I don't know. Barely anything done. I think about 50 to 75 stitches. It was a mania start from a previous year. That was not this year. This one is the Water Buffalo. I'm just going to turn around and show you guys. That's all I got done. Next we have the Lion. And again, barely anything. And of the 4 I have, this next one, the elephant, is my favorite in terms of how it looks. It's the elephant. And it's also the one I've gotten the most done on, and that's not really actually saying much. That's the elephant. So another project I need to put some time into, but I will when I can. So I was signed up from Stitchy Box, this series from Northern Needlework Expressions. What are they called? Twisted Tiles. However, they stopped coming out like they were supposed to, and so I wrote and I got a refund on the remaining charts because like a long time had passed and there was no update, which leaves you kind of discouraged feeling, right? Anyways, so this is all I've done on the first one, and I think that it's gorgeous, and it's gonna have these beautiful like beads and everything on it. And I have 1 and 2, and I do wonder if any more in the series ever came out, but yeah. So I have all the beads are in here, and then the floss is in here. So I mean, there's like all kinds of fancy beads. have not looked in this in seriously in years. And then it used Gloriana's. 3 of them. Isn't that just beautiful? I really need to work on this again, because I was so excited about it. And Gloriana's are not cheap. So, and then I bought the same fabric, 32 count linen winter white, to do the next one, which I believe Twisted Tile 2. So I have the beads for it as well. And I haven't even started this one. There's only 2 kinds of beads, but they've got these like diamond looking ones. And let's see what the threads are in this one. So this one, it doesn't even have the Gloriana tag with it. Anyways, yeah, so this is from that series, and I would honestly like to get back to this. So this part 2 was shipped to me January 23rd, 2018. So it's been almost 3 years. Does anyone know if any more in the Twisted Tile series was ever published? We are almost at the end here, guys. Okay, so then we have Esther's Waves from Northern Needlework Expression. I am doing this in a blue conversion, blue teal. Like these are the colors. Maybe this way, yeah, this way would be better. I have worked on this one this year. I did make it to the end of the row with these like icicles. I have to go back and put in the specialty stitches now. Next we have my Twisted Rainbows and Twisted Bands from Northern Needlework Expression. The first one is using DMCs on just some mushroom Lagana. And this is the one I'm the furthest with. And here's where I am at. I really need to work on this some more, as I love doing specialty stitches. Next we have okay, same project, but I am doing a kind of oceans colorway. So it's all greens, blues, and purples. It's called Ocean's Depth by Thread Pickers. And so I really love it, but you know, working on black is not always the easiest. So those are both the twisted band, and then I have the twisted rainbow. Also started on black. It starts from the opposite end, the opposite corner. And I have that, and then I'm doing this in the rainbow pack from Thread Pickers. That's what that looks like. I've only done one little section, so really need to do more work on these. Challenge groups don't always make it easy to work on specialty stitches, I will say that. Okay, next we have some papillion. Yeah, okay, actually this one comes first. Somehow you got out of order. So Papillion Stitches, Papillion Creations. This was a wedding sampler I started for someone I also just grew apart from, so I never finished it for them. Now it feels kind of awkward, like I don't know what to do. She wanted red and yellow, and I even did their little initials, so I don't know. Maybe I should just finish it and post it to them, but the fabric's dirty. I don't know. Haven't touched it in years. And this is 1/1. And the fabric is kind of stained, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Next we have some pedal pushers. So this is Anna Green Gables. This is one I really did not judge how big it was properly, as in it's actually smaller than I thought. And so I didn't center it well on the fabric because it could have just used like a portion of this. So this one is pretty close to being done. Then we have Pride and Prejudice from Pedal Pusher. And here is where I am on this. Then we have Little Women from Pedal Pusher. And this one I need to work on actually for Vlogmas. It got drawn. And I don't know why I chose a pink fabric, but I did. I think because I didn't really have much of a fabric stash at the time, and this was what worked. Started it several years ago for Stitch Mania. And then we have Longborn, also from Pedal Pusher. Actually, it's been a while since I've checked out her site, her Etsy shop. I need to see if she's got any cool new designs. And that's all I've done, is the door. The next ones are my Prairie Schooler Santas, And again, they're not really WIPs because I finished the most recent one, but I need to FFO it. But these are the ones I have to work on next. So this 2013 Santa, and then I have the first 4 days of Christmas Santas. I need to get the other ones. But I really wanted to have done 1 and 2 this year and do 3 for next year because that will be our 3rd Christmas married. So I'm behind on doing that. So I really need to get working. I am stitching them all on this sparkly Ada. Let me see if I have one of the tags in here. Yeah, I do. This Charles Craft Stardust 14 count Ada. I really like the look it gives the Santas, like a little extra sparkle. Then I have 1 Satsuma Street started. And it is Happy Halloween or something like that. Do I have? Yeah, here. Happy Halloween. I started this a while ago. I don't know if I want to restart it on nicer fabric, that it just isn't like a mess, but probably not. Anyways, that's what I've done. Most of the boxes are outlined, not all of them, but I've let my sister Alex work on this, which is probably most of the reason why I won't restart it, because she's done some work on it. I always like when I can share a project with her. Then we have Token of Love from Stickadine. Let me check my pattern here. Stickadine von der Weyenberg, A Token of Love. And I haven't worked on this one in a while because there's been a little bit of staining of the fabric, and I think that the red has stained a little bit. I don't know. I intended this as a present for my granny. I don't know. It's stitched with DMC 777. Then we have Stitch Rovia Quotes to Live By. I am almost done, you guys. And this is all I have done on that. So, definitely need more work. I actually really like how this one turns out finished. Twas the Night Before Christmas, Sue Hillis. I think I saw this first stitched by Miss Oh So Crafty, and this is all I have done. I also now have all of the Santas that she did. I have none of them started though. I would kind of like to finish one Sue Hillis before starting another. Okay, North Pole Welcome Sal from Tempting Tangles. And this is all I've gotten done. And this is also on a sparkly fabric that's not showing up. But that's all I've gotten done. I don't think I was loving how the pattern was looking at the time it was coming out, but since I've seen it finished, I like it. But that's why I haven't done more on it. Next we have the Welcome Sal from Tempting Tangles, and I saw Garrett Coffee Stitcher do this one, and my friend Amy gave me this bit of leftover fabric, and I loved how the colors looked on it. So yeah, I need to work more on this one. And then we have my only started Teresa Wensler, and that is the Castle Sampler. Mary Rose from Stitch Bliss Corner gave me this, and I love it so much, but it is, you know, difficult like a Teresa Wensler. And so this is all I have done with a billion parked threads. And I think this was a Stitch Mania start. And that finishes the fourth basket, just under 2 hours. There are two that I want to show you that are within reaching distance. I figure my aunt probably won't have watched this far, so I can show you my secret project for her. And that is Cloud's Factory Big Bang. She loves the Big Bang Theory. And so I've gotten done 3 of the characters. I think I have 5 more to go. It stitches up so quick, but Vlogmas just totally engulfed my life, and so I didn't get any done. And the last one I wanted to show you guys is my Dimensions Countdown Nightmare. That's what it looks like. So on the main project, I just have the back stitching to go. So it's here on this frame. For the ornaments, where'd my little paper go? Oh, here it is. I have one that's mainly done. I need to do the back stitching on it. And then the way I want to finish this is somehow get this framed on something metallic, and then to use magnets on the back of these, and then be able to stick them on with magnets like that for each day of the Christmas. So I hope to finish this someday soon, because I'm so tired of this stupid project looming over my head. But that is all for the first part of my WIP Parade. There is more coming, including cross stitch, but I managed to get this done in just under 2 hours, so yay me. Hopefully it'll upload, but I will talk to you guys tomorrow with another part of the WIP Parade. Bye.